me reiterate that organization development is a system-wide application of scientific technology and processes. It is a process and system-wide application used to plan, develop, and align organization strategies, structures, and processes to improve the effectiveness of an organization. The system-wide application is used to plan, develop, and align organization strategies, structures, and processes. So, what are those factors that we use to plan, develop, and align organization strategies, structures, and processes? So, we have to align our strategies, structures, and processes to improve the effectiveness of an organization. The four characteristics of change based on OD principle is number 1. OD is a planned effort. It is a planned effort. It will not just happen overnight that you dream of it. It is a planned effort. It is organization-wide. And number 3, it is managed from the top down, not down to the top or not top only. It is managed organization-wide. All departments are involved in organization development. If you want a system-wide improvement or organization-wide improvement, each department should be monitor and diagnose in order to identify the strengths and weaknesses of each department and what are the tools or activities that we have to do in order to improve the effectiveness of an organization. OD is a complex strategy that is intended to change the beliefs, attitude, values, and structure of an organization. So, it's not easy as what we think to say change management. No? Organization development is a strategy, complex strategy that is intended to change the belief, attitude, values, and structure of an organization in order to better adapt to new technologies and challenges, including new market. What we're saying here, if you want to change an organization, you change the people. If you want to change the people, you have to change their beliefs, attitude, values. Changing the structure of an organization is quite easy. We have to streamline and align the organizational structure based on our mission and corporate objectives. Again, I would like to clarify what is organization development. This is the study of successful organizational change and performance. Before, OD emerged from human relations studies in 1930s. This is the time when psychologists realized that organizational structures and processes influence worker behavior and motivation. Organizational structures and processes influence worker behavior and motivation, not the other way around, that behavior influence the organizational structure. It is the organizational structure that we follow and comply with, and the processes that influence workers' behavior and motivation. And this is the process through which an organization improves its internal capacity to meet its current and future requirements. So, in OD, we have to improve an organizational capacity in order to meet its current and future requirements. Future requirements, we may be focusing on market sales, and productivity improvement, or other factors that give us an edge against competitors. Organizational development from the belief that systems drive behaviors and that people within your organization all want to do their best work. But what is the roadmap to success in order to make our employee potential human capital. So, in OD, take note, in OD, they believe that systems drive behavior. It is the system and the structure that drives behavior, and that people within the organization want to do their best if we will trust them. If the management is trustworthy, employees and workers will give their best and will show that some of them are potential leaders and contributor to the company's objective. Now, what is the process in OD? If we want to improve an organization, if we want to transform an organization, what are the processes? First, in organization development, first we have to diagnose and find what's working and what is not working in the organization. It's just like identifying the strengths and weaknesses of the company or the organization. What strength shall we capitalize on, and what are the weaknesses of an organization that we need to improve through coaching, mentoring, and training or learning and development. Second, the OD practitioner or the OD consultant will work together to the management of the organization to bring the company to a greatest level of success and prosperity. Once we diagnose an organization, we're able to identify weaknesses or shortcomings or non-value added processes, identify non-value added processes and value chain that we have to develop and improve. And then discuss this with the management. What is the coverage of the project in order the target is to achieve its corporate objective and to level up to the next level of greater success and prosperity. In diagnosing an organization, we gather data about the work and situation using a variety of methods. In gathering data and work situation, of course, we check the process. Usually, we use the management tool or the so-called Balanced Scorecard. The Balanced Scorecard is composed of 4 factors for improvement. Number 1 is people. Second layer is process. Third is customer. And fourth is growth. So, our objective is to improve the people within the organization, improve the process or system that will contribute to customer satisfaction and at the same time contributor to profit growth. So, for me, one of the best tool is Balanced Scorecard, Force Perspective, which was developed by Robert Kaplan and I think Robert Kaplan, there were 2 guys from Harvard Business College who developed the Balanced Scorecard. Okay. Now we compare our collected data against the areas of success. What is happening in the company and how can we improve the organization? OD sometimes focus on small part, departmental. But if it is system-wide or organizational-wide improvement, we have to focus on all departments including marketing, manufacturing, HR, training, sales, quality control. All department should show their key performance indicators, and if this KPI or key performance indicators are relevant to the current and future achievement of success and prosperity. If this is a competitive KPIs or relevant KPIs per department, and auditing them, if these key performance indicators are met, if these are not met, what are the reason or the root cause? You know, good leader should be a root cause analyst and a planner. The audit process allows us to develop consulting, coaching, and workshop to accentuate what's working well within the organization and minimize dysfunctional organizational challenges. So, in audit process, we have to coach and mentor or provide workshop to employees and functional departments, relevant seminars and training or workshop in order for them to improve, and that will include coaching and mentoring individually to executive or functional manager in order to minimize dysfunctional organizational challenges. When challenges happen, the organization can absorb, learn, and evolve to increase what's working and eliminate what's not working. So, in audit process, this is a learning organization. Whenever challenges happen, just like now on this pandemic crisis, the organization, our managers, functional leaders or functional managers can absorb, learn, evolve, and adapt to the challenges that we are facing right now. Beyond processes, there is an underlying cultural and interpersonal component that usually makes or breaks the success of OD and engagement. So, the success of an organization lie with the people that we are working with. And how can we motivate them to perform better and to shift from human resources to human capital? Employee engagement is one technique that will motivate employees to show their potential. At the same time, there is a component of trust, that we trust our employees, we engage our employees, we empower our employees. Every action and decision has an implication of your organization's trustworthiness. What is the strategies in OD? OD designs trust-attracting organizations, that the organization and the management is trustworthy. Any training and development effort is a waste of time and money without the right goals, roles, and people. So one of the strategies of OD is to provide or show trustworthiness to our employees and consider the right goals of each worker and their roles, that includes responsibility and authority. So we have to have the organization design. The organization design is the organizational chart or the skeleton of your organization. A good organization design supports a healthy flow of work, cash, people, and customers, while a bad design constrict or restrict these efforts or gains. So, a healthy organization design is streamlined and support a healthy flow of work, process, cash, people, and customer. So we should have a good organization design or a healthy organization design. It should be streamlined and less hierarchical. The organization design suggested is less hierarchical or less layers. just like flatten the organization by removing hierarchical position, and that will resort to even to the so-called open door policy, where you can go direct to the superior or the divisional head. Every employee is entitled to have a competent manager with the capability to bring value to their problem solving and decision making. That competent manager should have the capability to recognize the involvement of their workers or employees in problem solving and decision making activities that affect them. Likewise, every manager is entitled to have a competent employees that can work at their maximum effectiveness within their roles. That each employee should work productively and effectively, and every organization is entitled to have a working system for performance improvement and increased effectiveness of staff. This can be done through training. Performance improvement and effectiveness of the staff can be done through training and using other measurement tools of productivity. So, is organization design important? Within organizations, the idea of trust, fairness, liberty, being unencumbered to complete your work without somebody or manipulative procedure restricting you are what most people want from their employer. So most employees, they want trust, fairness, liberty, and to complete their work without somebody restricting them or disturbing them. These are what most employees want from their employer. That the organization should be a trust-attracting organization. That the organization, the management should be trustworthy, an organization that generates trust, truth, fairness, justice, friendliness, openness, mutual help, and regard with creativity and good feelings. Trust repelling organization. These are the organizations which support the negative aspect of human nature, being autocratic, greed, malice, secrecy, or hiding information, and self-seeking. So sa mga company, isa sa nakakadismaya sa mga performer, yung mga star performer sa kumpanya, yung mga sumbungan na mga negative na pinaniniwalaan ng management, at yung pagiging autocratic ng mga immediate superior or ng leader. Para bang tinatakot ang employees na if they will not perform well, they will be terminated or kicked out of the organization. This is not a motivating factor. Try to be a situational leaders. Autocratic and coercion do not work anymore. So, information sharing instead of secrecy and self-seeking. All of which are inhibitors of imagination, innovation, and creative effort. Now, what are the areas of focus in OD? Ano yung mga area na dapat maging focus ng OD? First question, do we have a philosophy for how work gets done within the organization? Yung sinasabi ritong focus ng OD, meron ba tayong document that will show the actual process or system within an organization, within the department, or within the whole organization? Do we have a documented policy, procedures? That's why they're asking a philosophy. Do we have a documented policy and procedure within the organization? That is one focus in OD. Is there an existing policy and procedural guidelines? Second question of focus in OD is, what is our current hierarchy on organizational chart? Ano ang organizational chart natin ngayon? And how does it work? How does it flow? And what is the impact to the employees working in it under that organization chart? This is what a part of organization design. For me, I always see to it that the organization is streamlined, less hierarchical, because we're going to flatten the organization, where employees can easily share and grab or catch information from the higher ups and what is happening within the company. Third question, does our current organization chart and philosophy match to achieve quality outcomes? Does the present process and procedure achieve quality outcomes as well productivity outcomes? Are there barriers or are there restricting barriers to quality and productivity with the current organizational chart that we have? The fourth question, does our current organization accurately reflect how work gets done? So this is something to do with flow process chart. In ISO 9000 documents, I think they have the flow process chart and who does its process, who is responsible for its process. Another focus of OD that you have to ask, how does our current organization design support or restrict our communication? Does the current organization restrict or deter communication, innovation, and creativity of our workers? As I mentioned before, organization design should be less hierarchical and there should be a smooth flow of process that will give a healthy communication, great innovation, and great work for our people as contributor. Is there a redundant position in the organization? Usually, there are redundant positions or duplicate position in an organization. Just like an example is the supply chain management division. In the company where I work with as a management consultant, I eliminated one of those. I merged the warehouse manager and logistics manager will be one. So, one is position given the title are supply chain manager. So, consolidated work and removing one layer, we're able to reduce delivery time of with 2 hours. We're able to minimize delays in delivery. We're able to minimize red tapes because there is only one person handling the warehousing, inventory, and delivery. So less hierarchical, less paperwork, and eliminating redundant process as well redundant position. Next question, how can we make changes to our organization design to increase what is working well and decrease what is not working well? Usually we can do this, changing the organization design. First, checking the function of each process, check the function of each functional department or person handling the process. Or might as well, if you have the opportunity to benchmark other successful companies,
첫눈에 반한다는 이야기가 널 보는 순간 이해가 됐어.